Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of construction work. I haven't really done a lot of sort of building. It's mostly been either making machines or mining recently. And one thing I do want to do is get a little bunker built around that reactor, just so it's all nicely encased in. We're actually going to be using cobblestone to build the bunker because, well, why not? It seems like as good a material as any to do that. I think what I'll also do as well is probably make the windows out of the hardened glass that we had left over when we made ourselves the redstone energy flux ducts. Let's just go to our mining laser here and just make sure that it is on low focus mode, because I'll be needing to use that a little bit. Now, I've actually had a look where the reactor is. Even though we've got the cable coming through on this floor here, where we've got the double doors out onto the balcony, the reactor's technically on the next floor up. So if we actually go up to this floor, this is the no, it's not even this floor; it's the floor above that. This is the floor that leads out onto the walkway over towards the farm and the quarry, and this is the floor that's pretty much level with the reactor. In fact, the floor is one level lower than the reactor, but I've got a way to fix that, so that is something that I am going to do. One other thing that I will need that I didn't make, and I shall do that now if I can remember how, is we need to just get, actually I might have some, need some ladders, just 4 pieces actually. Got loads there. Let's go ahead and grab 4 of those. That's very important, and I'll show you why shortly. And I'm also going to make a doorway that leads out here, so that we can actually get to the reactor room without having to go outside, because it's a little bit fiddly getting up onto the roof and everything. So we're going to jetpack over here first of all. And before we do anything else, on this side, we are going to go and put a ladder. Now, I know I've got a spare piece. There's a reason for that. But now we can climb up onto the top of the reactor. And the reason for that is we are going to need access to this thing at the top. This is the control rod. And you can actually increase the insertion of the control rod, which will reduce the amount of power. Higher insertion slows reaction rate. So basically, the idea of this is if you don't want your reactor running at full power, you can turn it down. You can just have it running on 10%, for example. It's a bit like a dimmer switch for a light. So that's going to be very, very useful. So the first thing I'm going to do here is decide roughly how big we want this area to be, where we're going to have our actual bunker room. So obviously we want it to encompass the chest here. So what I'm going to do, very dangerously, is use the wrong tool, because I wanted to use this tool. But we can fix that. So we are going to dig down, and we'll go and sort out the rest of the mess afterwards. So I'm just going to do this. Now I'm doing this in a specific way for a specific reason. It might not be apparent yet, but it will be. How far that way do I want to go, I guess is the question. Probably another tile or 2, I would have thought. Yeah, because I don't want the wall right up against the cable there. So we're going to be taking out a couple of bits of wall here. In fact, we can take most of that out, I think. Oh, that's showing some... That's a bit ugly, but that's not a problem. We can get that sorted. Let's go and grab that bit as well. Okay, so I just want to make sure that we get rid of all of the dirt that is level with the reactor. In fact, we can even do it on these bits here. That should be fine. It's getting dark, so we might have to go and sleep the night off shortly. Let's just go back to using a regular shovel for this bit. And so if there's anything here that looks a little bit ugly, we can always hide it later on, so that's not too much of a problem. And get rid of this bit here as well. And I do need to save the dirt, because I will be using that. Let's just go and get rid of these bits of dirt here. And let's go right up to that corner. I think that'll probably be enough. Right, okay, so now we've got our reactor kind of floating in... Well, it actually will be floating in midair once I've taken out these last 2 blocks. There we go. So now our reactor's floating in midair. And I just realised I made a little miscalculation because I was thinking about what I wanted to do. I can see a creeper over there and a spider, so I'm just literally going to make it daylight. So it's a little... Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Never had a creeper in here before. If I can remember the key. Nope, it's not that one. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, there are a couple of spaces in here where things can spawn. Wow. Didn't realise it was that dark. Okay, let's just go and put a torch in the middle of the floor. That should stop that from happening. Okay, that was quite scary. Anyway, let's go and sleep the night off. I don't think I've ever seen a creeper spawn in the house before. Okay, so part 1 is almost done there. So let's go back outside. There's a few zombies and things burning. There's actually a witch over there. We don't need the that on anymore. I was tempted to go and kill that witch, but she's just despawned, so we're now left with creepers. So let's just turn off the nano saber, and we'll go back to doing what we were doing. So we're going to go back over here. And yeah, there's now a 1 block gap. So I'm now standing on what would be the floor level of the room that this is lined up with. The problem is we still need to go down 1. Okay, let's turn the jetpack off to make this a little bit easier. So this is going to be a little bit ugly, but it will work. That's the point. How much further do I want to go down here? This depends how big I want to make the room, you see. That's the important thing. Building materials isn't going to be a problem because we do have enough cobblestone to sink a ship, so we don't have to worry about that. It is going to be a little bit unsightly in places, but again, that is something that we can fix without too much of a problem. Let's go ahead and go back to the normal shovel. And see if I am happy with the size of the room. I guess I am, actually. I guess we can do that. So one thing I would like to do is... actually, we can just use the mining laser for that. Just take that out there. Okay, brilliant. It disappeared for some unknown reason. So let's go ahead and use the cobblestone. So what we're going to do is we are going to fill in all of this space that we've now dug out, because this is going to be the floor. So what we're going to have is there's going to be an extra row of bricks here, or extra row of cobblestone, just so the reactor stands one block off the floor. And that is the reason why I brought an extra piece of ladder, because it now means the reactor is technically going to be 1 block higher up. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense at the moment, because most of the stuff that I say doesn't. But basically, that's how it's going to be. These blocks that I'm placing now, this is the floor. So the reactor's going to be 1 block off the floor. So if we go ahead and take that other ladder, that ladder can go there, and we can now still get up onto the top of the reactor. That's how I want this to be. So what I need to do is make sure that I have... it also means this chest is going to be floating now, but we can sort the chest out. That's not too much of a problem. So I've got to decide how big I want this reactor room to be, because we don't need it to be too big. I might allow it to carry on going in this direction. Creeper. Oh, luckily it was only a relocation creeper, or concussion creeper, whatever you call them. I heard it, but it was a little bit too late. Luckily it didn't do any damage. Very annoying though. So, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, what I want to do is make sure that the this bunker goes in this direction a little bit, because we may want to automate the reactor later on. We may want to make it so that the reactor can dynamically control its power output. And that is something that you can do, because as I pointed out not many moments ago, you have that control rod at the top, which allows you to change how much power the reactor produces. And what you can do is you can wire the reactor up so that it will automatically produce more power if its internal capacitor is running low, and produce less power if it is basically full of power. So we're going to need some room for automation. We may even have a automation for putting in the fuel and taking the fuel out. So we've got that as an option. One thing that I just want to do quickly, and this is just sort of OCD kind of thing going on, is just tidy up the area around, just so you can't necessarily see where the cobblestone blocks are, because it does look a little bit ugly. So we can just go ahead and sort of do this and tidy up these edges, basically. Just hide it a little bit and make it a little bit harder to see. That's fine. And it doesn't matter, of course, if some of the wall is hidden behind the if some of the wall is hidden behind dirt. That's absolutely fine. We can deal with that. Now, I'm also going to be digging through so that we can get into the digging through so that we can actually get in here from outside. So what I'm going to do is we're going to dig through. Is that going to be far enough across? Or do we want to go one further? I think that's probably going to be far enough across. And of course, it's always going to end up having stone or something in there. Not too sure how deep we want to go. So we're going to have to go back inside at some point. In fact, we can go ahead and do that now. I just want to make sure that all these things line up. And this will make it a little bit easier getting in and out. So what we will do is, like we've done downstairs, and in fact, have I got those doors right in the corner? No, in fact, they're in different places, just depending on how close they are to the edge. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a door, and the door is going to be here. And there we go, we've actually went through the sort of right number there. That could just be cooked stone, but I don't think it needs to be. We're just going to... Well, yeah, we could do that with cooked stone. Let's go ahead and take these out. That one and that one. That one and... Well, actually, let's take all of these out, including the ones in the ceiling that we can see. There we go. So this is going to be the actual wall here. So let's just go ahead and put that down. So this will be the way through. So we'll have a door in there. This is going to be part of the wall. The wall will carry on over in this direction like so. So what I need then is to grab some cooked stone. So that's not too much of a problem. We can actually go ahead and shut this door now. We'll put doors on everything, of course, like we always have done. So let's just jump down to our electric furnace. And we can go ahead and we can just throw a whole stack of cobble in there because we've just got absolutely loads of it. So let's go back outside and finish building the rest of it. So this now means we've got a little way that we can use to get in and out to the actual reactor. So let's go ahead and... oh, jetpack can go off. Let's go ahead and put the wall in. I probably will need the jetpack on, actually, when it comes to doing this. But as you can see now, this is basically going to be the wall. And we'll put some windows in. I need to sort that chest out. We are going to have doors here. We'll probably have double doors. That's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and it leaves a space of 3, which is about the size of the reactor. Do we want double doors or do we want triple door? Or a single door? We can't really do triple doors. It doesn't really work. We could have just a single door. I guess we don't need double doors. So we'll just do a single door. And then we'll use like a carpenter's door and we can hide that. Let's just go and... the only thing that's got in is the yellorium. So we can just go and... I appreciate this is completely the wrong tool. And I still can't even do it from a distance because no matter how far away I am, it still does it. There we go. So we've got the chest. I just had to hold down crouch to let me do that. So the chest can go down here in the corner. And then we can go and put the yellorium back in there. So let's consider windows because I only got 12 blocks of this glass. Where are we going to want the windows? Well, we'll probably want at least one on the back somewhere. Although that might not need to be as large a window. Maybe we can just do that like that. So it's a double height window, but it's only a single width. And then that leaves us 10. So maybe we can have a double height, double width window here. And then maybe we can have another double height, double width window on this side. And that's probably all we are going to need. We could also put a skylight in, which probably isn't a bad idea. We could put one of these in like directly above the control rods. And this is going to be quite a tall building. So that's not a bad idea. In fact, I'm going to make this window 1 block higher as well. So I appreciate this might not be the most interesting thing to watch, but there again, some people really like this sort of stuff, and it is nice deciding how you're going to build stuff and make it look the way you want it to and be functional in the way you want it to. So that's always been one of the appeals for Minecraft for me. I think is that actually gone in the right place? No, it was 1 block too low. I placed that accidentally. It wasn't supposed to go down anyway, but I just thought for a second that I'd got lucky and it had actually gone in the right place, but it hadn't. So let's carry on going this way. And of course, we haven't put any of the wall in yet on this side, apart from where we've just done the entranceway into the tower. So we can go ahead and do that. Luckily, I'm getting to a point now where this next bit is going to be relatively quick because we're just basically doing straight lines. So yeah, this bit here is going to have another piece of window, just one. And you can see my inventory is getting full of junk now. Obviously, we will need to put lighting in here because we don't want stuff spawning. At some point, definitely going to have to go back to the nether and get a lot more glowstone so we can actually make some lights that aren't torches, because the torches are a little bit boring and a little bit naff, a little bit old school. We need to liven that up. So as you can see, we're already getting to the point now where we are level with the top of the reactor. And I'm still going to have to go a couple of blocks high because remember, we need room to be able to stand on top of the reactor in order to access the control rod. And possibly also need room to be able to get some wiring going to that so that we can control it automatically later on. So it's getting a little bit dark again, which is always a little bit worrying. Let's just see if we can get another row done just before we go in and set it to daylight. I'd also like to go and get my cooked stone as well. So this is going to be a little bit ugly, but it's you know, it's a bunker. It's a nuclear bunker. It's supposed to be a little bit ugly. And the roof's all going to be made out of cobblestone as well. Okay, let's drop down here. It will hurt, but it'll be fine. It will be absolutely fine. We'll sleep the night time off. And then we're going to go and grab our cooked stone. We're going to go and finish the little entryway. I haven't got a carpenter's door pre-built, I don't think. I'll soon find one. That's not too much of a hassle, but... So let's go back up to the correct floor. And now, if I get my cooked stone... There we go. And what we can actually do is we can put the cooked stone in here. And what I usually like to do as well is just make a hole, because then we can go ahead and drop a torch and give us some extra lighting. And we go ahead, and if we just put the cooked stone in everywhere that we would be able to see, like so, that hides everything, and all we can see is the stone through here, and then we come through and we end up into the reactor room. Now, like I said, we're definitely going to need some torches in here. I'm going to hit F7 again, because I'd like to see where things can spawn. There's actually a decent amount of light in here. It looks, mind you, I haven't got the roof on yet, I suppose, so that's a consideration. So let's go ahead and put some lights in here, because we don't want stuff spawning. It still will, but we don't want it spawning. Did I put one on this side yet? No, so let's go ahead and put one here. And we'll put one here above the door as well, I suppose. Actually, no, let's not put that one above the door. Let's go and put that one there. That looks a little bit better. That should probably be enough to stop anything spawning in here. So let's go back to normal stone. This will probably be a door as well, maybe? I don't know. Is anything going to be able to spawn in there? I did hit F7. I can't see anything because it's obviously nothing's going to spawn. I think we should be okay with that. So let's just get back up onto... There we go. So we can see the yellow. So let's just turn that off. Very, very useful tool if you want to know where anything is going to spawn. So if that's something you've not used before, just hit F7 and you'll see all these yellow crosses. So anywhere that doesn't have a cross... Like, well, I mean, these do have crosses. They disappear when I'm standing on them because obviously nothing can spawn on them. So any tile that doesn't have a cross on it means nothing can spawn on it. What you've got to remember in Minecraft is there are certain tile types that enemies can't spawn on anyway. There are certain blocks that think, like half blocks. If you put a half block down, nothing can spawn on it. But anything that has a yellow cross on it means that at night time, it will be dark enough for something to spawn there. So nothing can spawn there during the daylight. because it's too bright. But during the night time, it will be dark enough for something to spawn. And then if you see something that has a red cross means that something can spawn there at any time. Probably because it's in shade, or it's in a cave, for example, or it's indoors and there's no lighting. So it's a very, very useful tool if you want to see if there's a possibility of anything spawning. So let's just put the jetpack on, and I want to just land on top of the reactor. And the reason for that is I want to make sure that I do have room to stand on here. I want to avoid making this any higher, otherwise it's going to be beyond above the level of the windows. So for me, this is going to be the top level of this particular room. We're not going to go any higher than this. Keeping the jetpack on, just in case. I'm not really going to hurt myself even if I do fall. But this is going to be the top level of this room. And just so that I don't forget, there's the control rod on the square in... Is that directly above me? It is. 50-50 chance of getting it in the wrong place. I was bound to do it. So we've got that one piece of hardened glass left. That one piece of hardened glass is going to go there. If I look at... No, it's just in the wrong... I was right the first time. Damn it. And now I can't actually remove the glass. Can I take it out with a diamond pick? If I can't take it out with a diamond pick, probably can't take it out with anything. This is probably just going to smash it completely. Yeah, that smashed it completely. Perfect. Exactly what I didn't want. Oh, well, we can sort that out. Let's go ahead and go back to cobblestone. We're going to go and put one more in there because I now know that... there's the space. That should be the one. So let's go and fill in the rest of this gap. And now I'm annoyed because I don't have the stuff that I need. Let's just get up onto the roof. Oh. Jetpack failure. Yeah, so that's lined up now. That's perfect. So let's go ahead and do this. Fill the rest of this in. I might have to do the carpenter's door next time. Well, I guess we can do it quickly. Just about remember how to build one. So we're going to need... we'll use one for the front of the building as well. So we are going to need our hammer, and we're going to need 3 carpenter's doors, I think. Just before we do that, I'm just going to go and grab my diamond pick. And I am going to go over to the obsidian pit. I say the obsidian pit. There's not really much obsidian left in it these days, because I've used most of it previously. But there is still some there. So we'll grab that. Let's just have a little bit of chicken. Here's some guy who wants some and got some. So that's him dealt with. So let's just go over here. Now you've got to be careful because some of these tiles do still have lava beneath them. We did discover this last time. Only going to need 1 block of obsidian here. Come on. There we go. Brilliant. That's all I needed. So let's just switch that back to the old laser. The old mining laser. Again, my inventory is now very full of junk. Although I am going to go into the ground floor of the... oh, didn't want to fall in there. Because now I'm fighting against the current. It's like the only hole anywhere near that route and I managed to fall in it. That's fine. Okay, so... let's pop in here. Let's go and get rid of some of this stuff. And I've got a load of Pam's Harvest Craft stuff in here as well, which we really need to do something with at some point. I know I keep saying it, but there's like so many different things that we can do that I just haven't got around to trying yet. So that's fine. Let's go down to the smeltery. We're going to take our obsidian block and put that in here. And I don't know what we've got at the bottom of the casting table, so molten lead is exactly what we need. So if we pour that lead in, and then hopefully that should replace the bit of glass that we need. Fantastical. Okay, so now we've got the hardened glass. So let us go all the way up to the correct floor. Oh, I still haven't done the doors yet, have I? So let's go and jetpack on. Pop that in. Fantastic. Jetpack can go back off. Let's just have a very quick look in here now. With F7. I've just hit F7, so you can't see anything. Nothing can spawn. There we go. We're sorted. We're actually... That hole looks a little bit ugly. I kind of wish that I'd have gone down the sides with stone so you couldn't see all the layers of dirt and stuff. We could always make a cover. There are some covers you can get that will cover a hole but have a smaller hole in them for pipes and cables and things to go through. So we may well go and do that. So all we need now are 3 carpenter's doors, basically. So what we're going to do is go and make them. I don't think I have any spare ones. We are going to need the carpenter's hammer. Do I have a spare carpenter's door? It's very, very unlikely. I've got normal doors. I've got carpenter's blocks. But yeah, I don't have any carpenter's doors. So carpenter's blocks is made with planks surrounded by sticks. And I think a carpenter's door is just made the same as a door, but using carpenter's blocks. Yeah. So basically, we need some planks. And those planks need to be surrounded by sticks. And that gives us carpenter's blocks. And that's used a lot of sticks. But it's fine, because now we can do that. We can make ourselves 2 more doors. Oh, missed one. There we go. Right, there we are. So now we have 3 carpenter's doors. Solid. So, we can go and get rid of that. Also, losing some health. Well, not losing some health, but last of the chicken there. We can now go ahead and... well, let's grab the steak, because we've got loads of steak. So we'll get used through that before we start on the Pam's Harvest Craft stuff. So here we go. Door number 1, let us pop that in. Now, obviously, we want it to match the surrounding walls. So what we're going to do is we are going to right-click on it with the stone, which hides the door nicely. And then what we can do is we can actually use the hammer to decide what sort of design we want the door. I mean, we could just do that. You can have a completely invisible door if you want. You wouldn't even know that door was there unless you actually went and clicked on it. So that's a very, very, very useful thing to have. But I don't think it needs to be necessarily hidden. So you've got various different doors. You've got one that just has a window at the top. You've got the full-length window, like the one that we have over there going outside. You've got this one, which is very, very camouflaged, but it is still visible as a door. You've got this one, which is one we've used downstairs, which is like a sort of a mesh or netting over it. You've got this sort of multiple glass windowed door. So there's a couple of different ones to choose from. I actually quite like that one, and it matches the other door on this floor, so I think we'll leave that like that. So let's go through this door, and what we can do then is we can put down another... Let's just get rid of the meat for now. We can put this door down here. Now, this time around, of course, we're going to have to use cobblestone, because we want it to match... Oh, thought I heard something. Maybe I did. We want it to match that. I'm actually quite happy with that door, actually, the glass at the top. So let's leave it like that. And we want to put a door in here. So let's go ahead and do the same with that. So it's our final door. Pop it down. Going to use the cobblestone to make it match. And what type of door do we want on this one? I guess having a closed door like that, because, you know, it is a bunker. We've got hardened glass. I know we have windows, but the windows are made from hardened glass. So what I've done is, the purpose of putting this window here is you can actually look through this window and you can actually see right through the glass in the back of the reactor, and you can see if it's got fuel in it, so you don't even have to come into the building. If we just put the jetpack on, we can go right onto the top, and we can see right down to the control rod from here. And just for the sake of demonstrating how ugly it is all going to look, let's just quickly fly over towards the farm. And I know it's getting dark, so we're going to have to be a little bit quick and careful here. Quarry's still going. There's still a lot of junk that I need to sort out in the chests, but it hasn't quite reached the bottom yet. But there you can see the bunker. There's a zombie on the roof. The bunker is quite ugly, but it doesn't really matter. I think things will be fine with that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and empty out all of the stuff that I'm carrying around, because I have a load of junk in my bags, and it's about to be supplemented with some zombie brains. There we go. Nano Saber is off. And we'll just go make sure that all of these doors are closed. That one is closed. Nothing can spawn in here, can it? Let's just quickly hit F7. No, we're all good. Shut that door, and there we go. We have now built our bunker for our nuclear reactor, and we are one step closer to actually making some progress with applied energistics, although we do still have to wait a little while, because we've got to wait until we can get the crystals grown, and I might have to go back to the nether and get some more nether quartz. So I've got to be careful there. Carrying lots of junk around with me. Let's just go ahead and get rid of the rest of the stone. We've got a lot of dirt that I can get rid of now. We've got that cooked stone as well. Although, funnily enough, there's no space in there for cooked stone. But we've got a few extra chests. And as you can see, these chests really need a good sorting out. Get rid of the last bit of XP. And there we go. We are done. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Feed the Beast Infinity. And in fact, although I said I'm done, I'm just going to sleep things off and go and recharge the nano chest plate. Because obviously my mining laser and everything runs from that, but that's recharged already. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Feed the Beast Infinity, and I will see you on the next video. So until then, goodbye for now.